Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. Today in this video, I am going to discuss various validation techniques that are required for data tester or data engineers using Pyspark. So I am preferring Google Colab because it is easy to use and no need to install the various libraries or dependencies. So I am exercising my all the exercises in Google Colab only. So coming to the various values for data validation, for ETL tester or any database tester or data tester, so these are the mandatory things we need to understand how we can do in a Pyspark environment. The first case is test case is schema validation, where we need to identify that columns and structure of the column of a particular data frame or table should be matches with the source and target. Then we need to also check that column format and column type check. Then we need to go with the null values and missing values available in that target table as compared to the source table. Now range of values for particular column, that also we need to check. Then we need to also check that duplicate values available in the particular target table. Then cross view check means we need to see that some logical things we need to understand, where like start date, end date, start date should be less than end date. So that kind of things we need to check in the cross field check with some logical things we need to apply here. Then column validation using pattern matching. There are some pattern matching we need to follow because in some cases data having particular pattern, that I need to identify, I need to attach, I need to check that particular pattern is matching or not. So for that we are going to use regular expressions to match the patterns. Then data integrity check means whether both the tables, source and target tables are matching with all the criteria or not. So in that sense we are going to see the integrity of particular table or data frame. And at the end we can see that data profiling, where we need to get different attributes, what is the count, what is the average, what is the total sum, all those things we need to take it in the profiling concept. So the video is going very long, so that I am going to divide the video into two parts, part 1 and part 2. Presently we are going to with the part 1, after that we are going to see the part 2. So first I will generate one CSV file using Python code itself. So I am giving this code in a link, so you can just check it out how we can generate some random values using Python code as well. Coming to the first one, the schema validation. So for our testify purpose, I am going to create 3 different CSV files. The content is same, only thing is that one of the files can be different, because to identify that whether our code is work properly or not, for the purpose I am going to use 3 different files here. 2 files are same, one is different. Now there is some predefined properties, the functions available. Using those things we can validate the schema. Now schema match is equal to df1.schema and df3.schema. So I am going to check that employee 1 and employee 3. So we can see here what is the employee 1 data is employee ID and employee name itself, and employee 3 is having employee name, employee ID and salary as well. So just to check that schema is correct between these two or not, assuming that one is a source, another one is a target, we can see that these kind of things in a ETL testing. So let's execute the code. So what is clear, that schema is not matching between these two tables, these two data frames, because there is some mismatches happening in the data frame 1 and data frame 2. So there are some are nullable, some are long or string. So both of things is going to give here, but thing is that we need to see that what data we are going to pass here. I will check the df2 for the same thing. df2 is schema is matched because employee 1 and employee 2 both are having the same data and same columns, but employee 3 is having different columns. Because of that we are getting error in the the differences in the schema. So this is about the schema validation. So this is just for displaying the values of each and every data frame. df1 pointing to the employee1.csv, df2 points to employee2.csv, df3 points to employee3.csv. So this is about the first scenario. Then going to the next scenario is column format and type check. So here for this I'm going to create the different data and its columns. So I'm going to create the data frames with some hard coding values. Similarly for data frame 2. So now to validate the data as per based on the column format and type, I'm going to define one function. I'm going to write a user defined function where I'm going to pass two data frames, data frame 1 and data frame 2. So df1 dot columns is going to give the set of columns available in the particular data frame. So data frame 1 and data frame 2. So we are going to create a set for the data frame 1, data frame 2 means the set of columns from the data frame 1 and data frame 2 are going to copy to that columns df1, column df2. Now check for the columns of common columns are present in these two data frames. So how we can check it? We can use the intersection operation, that is the intersect function. So that will going to give that what are the common columns available in these both data frames. Now for those whatever common data frames are available, we are going to see that what is the data type by using that property called data type property. If both are having, first we need to extract the data formats, data types, then we are going to compare it whether both are equal or not. If they are not equal, we are going to print a message. If they are equal, we don't need to print anything. Just try to execute the code. So there is a mismatch found because the age in the df1 is a long type and in the df2 it is string type. You can see here in the data frame 1 there is a integer long type and it is a string. So that is the differences is going to give here. So this is the way how we can do with the column format and type check. So coming to the next one, checking the missing values or null values. For that we are going to use 4 different functions: select, call, find and alias. The select function is going to return the appropriate columns in the data frames. Column also refers to the same thing, but it's going to point out to the particular column as per the name of the column. Then when is used with the select method to apply some filters for the select method, and alias is going to give the alternative name to the data frame column. So based on these things, using these 4 methods, we are going to see that whether null values or missing values are available in this data frame or not. So here we are giving is the null value is a none. Okay. Now we are going to create a data frame with 3 different columns: the ID, name and age. Now we are going to create the data frame. So we can create a data frame by using create data frame function by passing data and its column. Now first we are going to check for the null check. So here we are going to use that list comprehensive technique. So where it is going to internally apply the one after another in the format of chain. These functions are going to call between each other. So first one df dot select. Df means our data frame. In that I am going to find out the count. We are going to extract the count for those where the column is having is null. Meaning is that wherever the column value is having is the only those values I am going to run it here. Means I am going to get the count here. So for that particular data frame we are going to give the name of the column as a C plus null count. C meaning is that either is pointing to the name or pointing to the ID, pointing to age. That is the column name of the particular data frame. So for all the columns, for all the records, we are going to check these null records. Okay. Similarly for the missing values, same thing. In the null we are having that is null method, but when we are having empty strings or empty values, for that we are going to give the double single quote. It means that it is a empty string. Then we are going to print out the values. Okay. So how many null values are available in that ID? No null values, but in the name 1 and in the age 1. So like that is going to print the value, but there is no missing values available here. Just to try out the missing values, I will just give the space here. Let's execute. Now name missing is 1. So like that we can achieve this by using these four methods: select, call, vend, and alias. So we'll end the video here. We'll continue in the second part. Thank you.